Syria, a land that once stood as a beacon of ancient civilization, a cradle of culture and history, now lies in ruins. When you hear that name, you probably picture a place wrecked by war. The images that come to mind are of shattered buildings, streets filled with debris, and a landscape scarred by relentless conflict. It used to be a beautiful place, full of history and culture, but now it's broken. Syria was once a land where ancient ruins stood proudly, where bustling markets and vibrant festivals showcased the rich tapestry of its heritage. For over 10 years there's been a terrible war there, and lots of people have died. The conflict has left deep scars, not just on the land, but on the hearts and minds of its people. Many more have had to leave their homes, families torn apart, children growing up in refugee camps, and countless lives disrupted by the chaos of war. Cities are now just piles of rubble, showing how bad the fighting was. Once thriving urban centers like Aleppo and Homs are now ghost towns, their streets filled with the remnants of what used to be. So many people have been hurt by what they've seen. The trauma of witnessing their homes and communities being destroyed is something that will stay with them forever. But even though things are really bad, there's still hope. Amidst the devastation, the spirit of the Syrian people remains unbroken. Syrian people are strong and they want a better future. They dream of a day when peace will return and they can rebuild their lives and their country. The Assad regime, the government that caused a lot of problems, is gone. The end of the regime has brought a glimmer of hope, a chance for a new beginning. This is a new beginning for Syria, the dawn of a new era, where the people can take control of their destiny and work towards a brighter future. But rebuilding will be very hard. The road to recovery is long and fraught with challenges, but the determination of the Syrian people is unwavering. It's like climbing a steep mountain after a big fall. Every step is difficult, but with each step, they get closer to the summit, closer to a future where they can live in peace and prosperity. This is the story of how Syria is trying to start over, to fix not just its buildings, but its whole way of life. It's a story of resilience, of hope, and of the unbreakable spirit of a nation determined to rise from the ashes. Education and healthcare are critical areas that need attention. Schools and hospitals, once targets of destruction, are now being rebuilt to provide the foundation for a healthier, more educated generation. International aid and support play a crucial role in this rebuilding process. The global community has a responsibility to help Syria stand on its feet again. Cultural revival is also essential. Art, music, and traditions that were suppressed during the conflict are now being celebrated once more, bringing a sense of normalcy and pride back to the people. Economic recovery is another significant challenge. Entrepreneurs and small business owners are working tirelessly to revive local markets and create job opportunities, fostering a sense of economic stability. Reuniting families and rebuilding communities are at the heart of Syria's recovery. The bonds of family and community are what will ultimately heal the wounds of war and pave the way for a brighter future. The children of Syria, who have known nothing but conflict, deserve a chance to grow up in a world of peace and opportunity. Their hopeful faces remind us of the importance of this rebuilding effort. As the Syrian flag waves once more over a land striving to rebuild, we are reminded of the resilience and strength of its people. This is not just a story of destruction, but a story of hope, determination, and the unyielding human spirit. The green shoots of recovery are beginning to appear. People are planting trees, symbolizing new life and growth, and a commitment to a sustainable future. Despite the challenges, the smiles on the faces of the Syrian people and the celebrations in their communities show that hope is alive. They are determined to rebuild not just their homes, but their lives, their culture, and their future. This is the story of Syria's journey from ruins to recovery, a testament to the enduring spirit of its people and their unwavering hope for a better tomorrow. To understand how hard this will be, we need to look at what happened before. Syria, a country with a rich history and vibrant culture, has been through a lot. The civil war that started in 2011 has left deep scars on the nation and its people. The conflict began with peaceful protests against the Assad regime, but it quickly escalated into a full-blown war. The regime's harsh response to the protests, including the use of military force, only fueled the anger and resistance of the people. Over the years, the war has caused immense suffering and destruction. Before the war, Syria was known for its bustling markets, ancient ruins, and diverse communities. People from different religious and ethnic backgrounds lived together in relative harmony. The country had a growing economy, with industries like agriculture, manufacturing, and tourism contributing to its prosperity. However, beneath the surface, there were underlying issues that would eventually lead to the conflict. The Assad regime is gone, but it left behind big problems like corruption and fighting between different groups. The regime's oppressive policies and lack of political freedom created a climate of fear and mistrust. People were afraid to speak out against the government, and those who did were often met with severe consequences. This environment of repression stifled any potential for positive change and progress. For years, the government didn't let people speak freely or have many rights. The lack of freedom and the constant surveillance by the regime's security forces created a sense of paranoia among the population. People were wary of their neighbors and even their own family members, fearing that they might be informants for the government. This atmosphere of suspicion made it difficult for communities to come together and support each other. This has made it hard for people to trust each other and work together. The war has displaced millions of Syrians, forcing them to flee their homes and seek refuge in other countries or in camps within Syria. These displaced families face numerous challenges, including lack of access to basic necessities like food, water, and shelter. The trauma of losing their homes and loved ones has left deep emotional scars that will take years to heal. Syria's economy is also in a really bad spot. The war has devastated the country's infrastructure, with many businesses and industries being destroyed or abandoned. The once thriving markets are now empty, and the streets that were once filled with the sounds of commerce are now eerily silent. The loss of jobs and income has plunged many Syrians into poverty, making it difficult for them to provide for their families. The war, sanctions, and corruption have hurt it a lot. Buildings are destroyed, factories aren't working, and farms aren't growing food. The agricultural sector, which was once a major contributor to the economy, has been particularly hard hit. Many farmers have been forced to abandon their land due to the ongoing conflict, and those who remain struggle to produce enough food to meet the needs of the population. The lack of resources and support has made it nearly impossible for them to rebuild their livelihoods. The money has lost almost all its value, and many people are very poor. The Syrian pound has plummeted in value, leading to hyperinflation and skyrocketing prices for basic goods. Many families can no longer afford to buy food, medicine, or other essential items. The economic crisis has also led to a rise in unemployment, with many people struggling to find work and support their families. The money has lost almost all its value, and many people are very poor. The Syrian pound has plummeted in value, leading to hyperinflation and skyrocketing prices for basic goods. Many families can no longer afford to buy food, medicine, or other essential items. The economic crisis has also led to a rise in unemployment, with many people struggling to find work and support their families. Schools and hospitals are also in bad shape. The war has taken a heavy toll on the country's education and healthcare systems. Many schools have been damaged or destroyed, leaving children without access to education. The lack of proper facilities and resources has made it difficult for teachers to provide quality education to their students. Similarly, the healthcare system is in a state of crisis, with many hospitals and clinics being bombed or abandoned. Many have been bombed or abandoned. The destruction of healthcare facilities has left many Syrians without access to medical care. The shortage of doctors, nurses, and medical supplies has made it difficult to treat the wounded and sick. The lack of proper healthcare has also led to the spread of diseases, further exacerbating the suffering of the population. Kids aren't getting a good education, and people can't get the healthcare they need. The future of Syria's children is at risk, as many of them are growing up without access to education. The lack of proper schooling has left them ill-prepared for the challenges of the future. Similarly, the lack of healthcare has left many people vulnerable to illness and injury, with little hope of recovery. All of this makes rebuilding even harder. The challenges facing Syria are immense, and the road to recovery will be long and difficult. The country will need significant support from the international community to rebuild its infrastructure, economy, and social fabric. The resilience and determination of the Syrian people will be crucial in overcoming these challenges and building a brighter future for their country. All of this makes rebuilding even harder. The challenges facing Syria are immense, and the road to recovery will be long and difficult. The country will need significant support from the international community to rebuild its infrastructure, economy, and social fabric. The resilience and determination of the Syrian people will be crucial in overcoming these challenges and building a brighter future for their country. Rebuilding a country after such a big war is a huge job. The devastation is widespread, affecting every aspect of life. From the crumbling infrastructure to the shattered lives of the people, the task ahead is monumental. The war has left deep scars, not just on the land, but on the hearts and minds of the survivors. The journey to recovery is long and arduous, requiring immense effort, resources, and unwavering determination. It's like a puzzle with many pieces, and it needs a good plan. Each piece represents a different aspect of rebuilding: housing, healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Without a comprehensive and well-thought-out plan, the pieces will never come together to form a complete picture. The blueprint for reconstruction must be meticulously crafted, taking into account the unique challenges and needs of the affected areas. It requires collaboration and coordination among various stakeholders, including government agencies, non-profit organizations, and the local communities. The most important thing right now is helping people who need food, water, and medical care. These are the basic necessities of life, and without them, survival is impossible. Humanitarian aid is crucial in the immediate aftermath of the conflict, providing relief to those who have lost everything. Food distribution centers, water purification systems, and mobile medical units are set up to address the urgent needs of the population. Volunteers and aid workers tirelessly work on the ground, ensuring that help reaches even the most remote and inaccessible areas. Many people are living in temporary places because their homes were destroyed. These makeshift shelters offer a semblance of safety and security, but they are far from ideal. Families are crammed into small spaces with little privacy and limited access to basic amenities. The conditions in these camps are harsh, and the risk of disease and malnutrition is high. Rebuilding permanent homes is a priority, but it is a complex and time-consuming process. It involves not just constructing new buildings, but also ensuring that they are safe, sustainable, and resilient to future conflicts. At the same time, we need to start fixing roads, bridges, and the things that make a city work. Infrastructure is the backbone of any society, and without it, daily life comes to a standstill. Roads and bridges are essential for transportation, enabling people to move freely and goods to be transported efficiently. Repairing and rebuilding these structures is a massive undertaking, requiring skilled labor, heavy machinery, and substantial financial investment. It is a race against time to restore normalcy and ensure that the city can function again. This will take a lot of money and smart people. Financial resources are needed to fund the reconstruction projects, and skilled professionals are required to design and implement them. Engineers, architects, urban planners, and construction workers all play a crucial role in rebuilding the country. Their expertise and experience are invaluable in overcoming the technical challenges and ensuring that the new infrastructure is built to last. Financial planning and management are also critical, as funds must be allocated efficiently and transparently to avoid wastage and corruption. It's also important to make sure nobody steals the money meant for rebuilding. Corruption is a major threat to the reconstruction efforts, diverting much-needed resources away from the projects and into the pockets of unscrupulous individuals. Transparency and accountability are essential to prevent this. Strict monitoring and oversight mechanisms must be put in place to ensure that funds are used for their intended purposes. Anti-corruption measures, such as audits, inspections, and public reporting, help to build trust and confidence in the rebuilding process. But fixing buildings isn't enough. Rebuilding physical structures is just one part of the equation. The social fabric of the community must also be restored. This involves rebuilding relationships, fostering a sense of belonging, and creating opportunities for people to come together and support each other. Community rebuilding efforts focus on strengthening social ties, promoting inclusivity, and encouraging active participation in the reconstruction process. It is about creating a sense of hope and optimism for the future, and ensuring that the community is resilient and united. We also need to help people feel better after all the bad things they've seen. The psychological impact of the war is profound, leaving many people traumatized and struggling to cope with their experiences. Mental health support is crucial in helping them heal and rebuild their lives. Trauma counseling, support groups, and recreational activities provide a safe space for individuals to express their feelings, share their stories, and find comfort in the company of others who have been through similar experiences. It is about addressing the emotional wounds and helping people regain a sense of normalcy and well-being. People need to forgive each other, and those who did bad things need to be held responsible. Reconciliation is a key component of the rebuilding process, as it helps to mend the divisions and conflicts that led to the war. Peace talks and reconciliation meetings provide a platform for dialogue and understanding, allowing people to address their grievances and work towards a common goal. Accountability is also important, as it ensures that those who committed atrocities are brought to justice and held accountable for their actions. This helps to build a sense of justice and fairness, and prevents future conflicts. We also need to fix the problems that caused the war in the first place, like fighting between different groups and a lack of jobs. Addressing the root causes of the conflict is essential to prevent it from happening again. This involves promoting social cohesion, economic development, and political stability. Job training programs and economic development projects create opportunities for people to earn a living and improve their quality of life. Encouraging interaction and cooperation between different communities helps to build trust and understanding, reducing the likelihood of future conflicts. It is about creating a stable and prosperous society where everyone has a chance to thrive. Making Syria stable and safe is really important. Now that Assad is gone, different groups want to be in charge. Countries around the world need to work together to help Syria create a new government that represents everyone. This will be hard, and everyone will have to give up something. Syria needs a new government to write new rules and hold elections. This government needs to include people from all different backgrounds, including women and young people. But it's not just about the government. Syria needs laws that work, and people need to trust the police and other important parts of the government. This means training police officers to be helpful, not harmful. Fixing Syria's economy is important for peace. If people don't have jobs, things will stay unstable. The war destroyed a lot of businesses and stopped people from trading. Other countries will need to help at first, but Syria needs a plan to create jobs and get businesses to invest there. This means helping people learn new skills, supporting small businesses, and encouraging people to start their own companies. Farming is also important. We need to help farmers grow food again. It's also important to figure out who owns the land, because that has caused problems before.